For many years, if you wanted an EV and a Tesla wasn't in your budget, you'd be thinking, Leaf or Bolt? Leaf or Bolt? At least in the US. Over here in Europe, we were thinking, Leaf or Zoe? Leaf or Zoe? But these days, the EV marketplace is so much richer, so many more options, and today, we're comparing two great new EVs coming out of parent company Hyundai, the IONIQ5 and the Kia EV6. Although both share a huge amount of DNA under the skin, there are some big differences between them, so we're going to dive into the details and see how they compare. Stick around. Hello, and welcome to the channel. I'm Martin Lee, and if you like what we do here, hit subscribe and the bell icon down there so you never miss a show. So today we compare two cars and start with four letters, EGMP. What is that? It's the platform they're built on, EGMP. It's a platform built by Hyundai to build Hyundai's, Kia's, even Genesis cars on. Now in the past, Kia and Hyundai have done a great job of adapting their combustion cars into EVs. The Kona was impressively altered to accommodate a 64 kilowatt-hour usable battery. The Kia e-Niro had the same size battery. It's a slightly bigger car though, and both had enough power to embarrass their combustion counterparts when the traffic lights turned green. But both of these cars were built alongside combustion and hybrid models under the same shell. The EGMP platform is a dedicated platform that allows the designers to push the wheels to the four corners of the car and fit the batteries as a platform in between them. In essence, it looks a bit like a skateboard. It opens up a whole host of opportunities to the designers and the engineers. So let's look at the results. Ioniq5 versus Kia EV6. In terms of design, both cars are striking, although they share the same underpinnings. The design teams for Kia and Hyundai were allowed to plough their own furrows. Outside, the Kia is sleek. Some might say curvaceous. Aesthetically, the dominant feature is the character line that runs from behind the front wheels, broadening as it reaches the back wheels and ascending steeply through the wheel arches, at which point the line turns red and it blends in with the rear light cluster that forms a single bar running across the back of the car. The Ioniq team at Hyundai have opted for creases over curves. It's a more angular car. Now, on first glance, most would probably deem it a hatchback, but in reality, it's a much bigger car. The fractal wheels are striking, and the detail of the alloys carries through to the bodywork with small indented streaks, and the pixelated lights on the Ioniq5 stand out. They're a real design flourish and hark back to the days of the 1980s 8-bit gaming culture. It may not be to your taste, but you have to agree, it's a welcome sight with so many identikit SUVs on the roads these days. Inside, the distinction between them continues. The Ioniq5 has a unique movable centre console. It slides back and forth, and the designers have gone to great lengths to give a sense of space. With a wheelbase of exactly 3 metres, the Ioniq5 has plenty of legroom and boot space. The Kia's interior takes a different approach. Although they share the idea of two screens, the Kia's is curved, even the dash and centre console, curving and orienting towards the driver, giving a sense of being cocooned, I would say. The materials are much darker, the layout is possibly more familiar to drivers. The dimensions of the cars are similar, but not identical. The beauty of a single platform like the EGMP is that it can be adjusted on a car-by-car basis. Look at VW's MEB platform, used for both the smaller ID3 and the much bigger ID4. The wheelbase of the Kia is a little shorter, 2.9 metres in comparison to the Hyundai's 3 metres. Even so, the Kia is actually a longer car because of bigger overhangs at front and rear. This, combined with it being a full 2 inches lower, gives it a sleeker look than the Ioniq5. In terms of internal space, the Ioniq5 does fare better, not by a huge amount though. For example, the boot space in the Kia is 520 litres. The Ioniq goes bigger and better at 531 litres. Although there's a bigger difference with the rear seats folded down, the Kia giving you 1300 litres, Ioniq almost 1600 litres of boot space. The batteries that go into each car are similar, not exactly the same. The standard models of both are 58 kilowatt hours. The range is looking to be almost identical. Let's focus on the bigger batteries though. Ioniq5 long-range battery, 72.6 kilowatt hours. That's a great size. Suggested range up to 480 kilometers. Knowing what we do about Hyundai, the Kona, and its 64 kilowatt hour battery, that seems achievable, even in winter. You're pushing 400 kilometers. Now, Kia EV6. Go for the big battery, long range, and it's bigger, 77.4 kilowatt hours. And no surprise, the suggested range for the Kia is upwards of 500 kilometers. Those are stunning numbers. In terms of charging, both cars peak in and around 230 kilowatts, which is not only amazing, but class leading by a very long way. You have to spend a lot more money to get a car like the Taycan or the Audi e-tron GT to reach those speeds and slightly higher. It puts it up there with the best in the world in terms of charging speeds. Couple that with great efficiency from Hyundai and Kia cars, and if you can find a quick enough charger, you'll go from 10 to 80% full in 18 minutes. What's that in usable range? Well, it's around 100 kilometers of range in 4.5 minutes. Faster than the time it takes to pop into the service station, get a takeaway coffee, and get back to your car. Talking performance for a minute because there's something in here that I really have to mention. We'll talk about standard and long-range models. Now, there's so many variations and permutations between small battery, big battery, rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive. Suffice to say, at the bottom end of the specs, you'll get 125 kilowatts of power, single motor, 0 to 62 miles an hour or 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in around 8.5 seconds, which is plenty rapid. If you go for the all-wheel drive and the bigger battery, the Hyundai will give you 225 kilowatts of power, doing the dash in 5.2 seconds. The Kia, in all-wheel drive form, gets more power, 239 kilowatts, and again, beating the Ioniq5 with a dash of less than 5 seconds, 0 to 62 miles an hour, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour. But we do have an ace up our sleeve for the Kia. Actually, I'll take that back. It's a deck of aces up its sleeve. There's a GT model coming, and it's really fast. The Kia EV6 GT comes with the same battery, 77.4 kilowatt hours, but it has a combined front and rear motor output of 430 kilowatts and 730 newton meters of torque. Now, obviously, the all-wheel drive and instant power of electric motors means that it gets off the line quick. I mean, quicker than any combustion car that you'll drive in this price range. It beats the likes of a Porsche 911 Targa 4, a Ferrari California T in the quarter mile. And when you finish drag racing, the thing about this car, with the Kia EV6, you'll pick up the kids on the way home and some buggies in the boot. So what separates these two amazing cars? Would you buy one over the other? Well, it's probably going to mostly come down to styling and maybe price. We think the Kia is going to be slightly cheaper than the Hyundai in most markets. For some people, and maybe you watching, the raw power of the Kia EV6 GT in a family car is going to be irresistible. For others, it'll be the styling of the Ioniq5. Only time will tell which is more popular. Either way, we hope that both Hyundai and Kia have enough supply to meet demand. We're sure they'll sell like hotcakes. Let us know what you think in the comments below. We love to keep the conversation going. 2 exceptional cars featured today. Which are you going to go for? Maybe neither. Float your boat. Maybe you're a Tesla Model Y fan, ID4 or Nissan Ariya. And what about that EV6 GT, eh? What do you make of the performance? We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, please click on the thumbs up button so we know you want us to make more just like it.